why we're running a little late, because now he won't leave me alone because I was giving him treats. And he seems to have calmed down now. So it's time to begin our show. We're doing 45 or 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make it a little easier for us to suffer and have a little bit of fun while we're at it. All right, let's work on that consistency. Let's work on some hip cars and warm up. We're going to start with hip cars. They look like this. We're going to bring our knee up as high as we can directly to the front. We're going to open up that leg to the side. We're going to keep on opening, 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 opening. Point your knee directly that way. Rotate the ankle up, 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 up until your ankle is hidden behind your knee. From the side, it's going to look like this. It's horizontal. But from the front, it looks like your ankle is disappeared like magic. Keep on rotating. Bring that knee down as low as you can. Lift that ankle up as high as you can until your hamstrings are about to cramp up and we're ready to move on. I want you to bring the leg down and back. All right? We're just bring the knee behind the standing leg. We're flexing the hamstrings. We're flexing the glutes. We're feeling the stretch here in the front. That is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these on each side. Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's 1. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 2. I think changes came in. Hello, hello. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 3. Keep going. If you're feeling like you're off balance, hold on to something. Hold on to a wall. And let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 4. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 5. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 6. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 7. Last 3. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 8. Last 2. Knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Keep going. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 10. Woo! Those are some hip cars. We've done one leg. Going forward, we're going to switch over to the other leg. Do 10 on this side. Let's go. Stand. Put all your weight into one leg. Contract those core muscles. Stay nice and strong. And let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 1. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 2. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 3. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 4. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 5. Keep going. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 6. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 7. These are called hip cars. And these are all about using your own muscles to bring your legs to crazy places so that you get stronger, you get more mobile, all at the same time. That's 9. Last 1. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 10. Whoo! Those are hip cars going forward. Take a second. Shake out your legs. Do a little wiggle. Flop around. Relax some of those muscles that you've been contracting. And let's get ready to go in reverse. All right? When we start going reverse, the first thing we're going to do is bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, and lift a little bit. Then we're going to lift the whole leg up to the side, like we're doing martial arts. We'll go, pa, kicking somebody in the face. Maybe not, maybe a little lower, maybe in the hip. And from here, we're going to rotate the knee down, lift the ankle up, rotate the ankle down, lift the knee up, and finish by bringing the knee forward. All right? I'm going to do these facing you so you can mirror me a little bit more easily. Let's begin. Stand, balance, back, side, ankle up, oof, ankle down, ha, knee, that's 1. We're doing 10, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 2, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 3, keep going, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 4, keep going, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 5, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 6, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 7, 3 more, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 8, 2 more, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. Oh man, that's a lot. That's 10. Whew. We got one last leg to do. Shake out your leg. The balancing leg is probably doing a whole bunch of these little adjustments when your legs are flying all over the place. So these muscles are probably tired. So give them a little bit of love. Shake them out. Let them chill. And take a nice big deep breath in. Relax. Let's wrap these up. Last leg. Let's go. Core nice and tight. Strong leg. Spread those toes for balance. And let's go back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 1. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 2. Remember, the goal is to really contract your muscles, to really lift yourself into these crazy positions. So try your best to go high. Try your best to go contract these muscles until you're like, ooh, what the heck is that? Ooh. That's 3, I think. Keep going. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ooh. Ankle down. Knee. That's 4. I'm super off balance. What's going on? All right, back. Side. If you're off balance, feel free to hold on to something. I'm not close enough to a wall to do that, so I'm just gonna have to suffer through it. But you don't have to do that at home. All right. I think this is 6. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 7. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ooh. Ankle down. Knee. That's 8. 2 more. Let's go. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 9. Last one. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 10. Woo! We are finally done with hip curls. Woo! That's our first warm up exercise. Take a second, shake out your legs, let yourself flop. Maybe your glutes are a little tired, maybe the tops of your hips, maybe the fronts are a little tired. Just do a little wiggle, do a little relax, do a little flopping, and we're gonna get into warm up exercise number 2. It's called the elephant walk. We're gonna start by folding at the hips, bringing our belly buttons down towards the ground. Whee! Ugh. As soon as you get stuck, just chill, relax, breathe, inhale, exhale, flop. Relax, chill. Let some of that tension in your spine slowly melt away. And we're going to start a little bit of movement. All right. I want you to bend one knee and straighten out the other leg. Fold your belly button down a little bit further. And then switch so that the other leg is bent. And then switch so the other leg is bent. And switch so the other leg is bent. Switch until the other leg is bent. Keep on going. Keep on trying to bring your belly button down. And I'm going to tell you about the rest of the show. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, which means we started 13 minutes ago to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we keep on putting ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little easier to stay consistent with. So, if you like side splits, you want to work on your hip mobility, and you need a little bit of help practicing consistency, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, keep on coming back, set a calendar invite, set an alarm, and I'll see you tomorrow and the day after and the day after that, 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, let's go. We've done a whole bunch of these. Hopefully your hamstrings are feeling a little bit more relaxed. Hopefully you remember to try and fold a little bit deeper and weren't completely distracted by how cool the live is. And we're ready to fold just a little bit deeper. Bring the belly button down and down and down. Bend the knee. Switch. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, pop into a squat. Come on back into standing. That is warm up exercise number 2. Shake out your legs. Shake out your hips. Do a little wiggle. Do a little flop. Relax your body. We're going to move on into warm up exercise number 3. All right. What we're going to do is called thoracic rotation. It's going to look a little like this. We're going to get back into the position we're just in. One leg is bent, one leg is straight. Our belly buttons are coming down. All right. From here, we're going to take the arm from the bent leg side. We're going to reach across to the straight leg side. We're going to push off that shin bone. We're going to push, 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 and rotate so that we extend our arms straight up. We're going to rotate our necks to look at that hand. And we're going to breathe on the exhale. I want you to reach a little further back if you can. All right. Inhale. Exhale and reach. Whew. That is half a rep. We're going to do the other side. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale and reach. Woo! That is 1 rep. We're doing 5 of these in total. Let's go. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Push, open. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale and breathe. That's 2. Other side. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale and reach. That's 2. Keep on going. We got 3 more. 5 in total. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 3. And 3. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 4. And 4. Last round. From the top. We're bending one leg. We're straightening out the other. We're taking an arm, that one from the bent knee side. We're reaching across to the straight leg. We're pushing off that straight leg. We're folding forward. We're pushing and rotating. Looking at the hand as it reaches up. Inhale. Exhale and reach. That's 5. Other side. Inhale. Exhale. Reach. Woo! That is some thoracic rotation. If your shoulders, the delt muscles here, are a little tired, that's okay. That's normal. If your shoulder blades are tired because you're really trying to contract your shoulders to bring your arm back, that's also okay. That's also normal. We're not going to need them for much later after this move, so you can just let them chill. All right. But you've moved your back. You've did some rotation. I always encourage you to find some healthy, fun, cool ways to add a little bit of movement into your life. The more you use your mobility, the easier it will be to keep it. So take this moment, do a little hip wiggle, do a little dance, shuffle around, hula hoop, I don't know, whatever you want. Just add a little bit of movement. And remember, the more you use it, the less you lose it. That's definitely not how that statement goes. We're moving on to the 4th and final warm-up exercise, and it is called the Cossack switch. All right. We're going to open up our legs decently wide. How wide it is right now is not that important. What is important is that you get into a nice comfortable position, you feel strong, and slowly squat on down. If you're newer to the show, you might stop right here. All right. If you've been doing some Cossack switches for a while, you're quite mobile, maybe you can go a little deeper. All right. If you're really, really, really mobile, maybe you'll go even deeper. And once we're here, we're going to pause, adjust your ankle, find a comfortable position for your knees or your hips. Inhale, exhale, sink a little deeper, see if you can relax in this position. All right. From here, we're going to scoot our butts that way. If you're here, you might be able to go across real easily. If you're a little bit lower, you might need a little bit of hand support to help you with your balance. If you put your hands down and help yourself over, great. Come on over. When you're here on the other side, we want to do the same thing. We want to find a nice, deep, comfortable position for you. So if you're still new and you're here, that's great. If you're a little bit more experienced, you can go deeper. Awesome. If you're able to go super deep, amazing. From here, we're going to go back. That's 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these in total. All right. I want you to scoot your butt that way, scoot your butt back, and take your time with it. Use your hands for hand support. And if you're somewhere in the middle, you're not super low enough to touch the ground, you might want to put something in front of you to give you a little bit of support. All right. This is 2. And back. We're at 2 again. Keep going. 3. And still 3. If you're ready for more, skip the hands and see if you can get your butt across without them. That's 5. Keep going. And 6. If you're ready for something a little bit more challenging, feel free to sit up a little straighter so that your chest, your head is going straight up into the ceiling. Stick your arms out to help counterbalance and continue. I think this is 7. Keep going. And this is 8. What are you doing? What do you think? Are you trying to leave? Okay, here, you can leave. Go, bye-bye. All right. We're going to continue. 9. Come on across, sink into it, and we'll finish up with number 10 right here. Whew. Those are our Cossack switches. We have just done 10 reps, all sorts of different levels. If you were a little bit higher up, you're just working on these, great. If you're a little bit lower and you need your hands for support, amazing. If you worked on any of the harder variations, perfect. All right, that wraps up our warm up. If that sentence scares you because you're like, whoa, what? That's the warm up. Don't worry. This is a 45 to 60-minute long side splits and hip mobility workout. All right. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering that we put ourselves through every day a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little easier to stay consistent with. And what that means is we're going to move on into some stretching because we got to work on the stretching part of this show now. And that means all the cardio, all the really intense contractions in your muscles, that stuff, that's mostly done. All right. Let's move on to our first stretch. It is a hamstring stretch. And we need a little bit of foam, a little bit of padding. I can't find my regular piece of padding because I cleaned the room today and I misplaced everything. So we're just going to pretend my floor is the padding because it is. I want you to grab something to pad your knee. All right. It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to have fancy gym flooring. If you have some dirty laundry, you can roll it up, stick it under your knee, and we're good to go. If you have a flip flop, stick it under your knee, you're good to go. If you have old sneakers you don't care about, stick it under your knee, ready to go. Couch cushion, decorative pillow, perfect. All right. From here, I want you to rest kneeling on your cushion, on your flip flop, on your pillow, and I want you to extend one leg out. I want most of your body, the knee to the hip, hip to the shoulder, shoulder to the head, to be in a nice straight line. All right. I don't want too much of this. I want too much of that. I definitely don't want a whole bunch of this. All right. If you can do a front split and you're like, why are we not taking the opportunity to do front splits? It's because we're focusing on the hamstring. All right. When you start adding in too many other muscles that are getting tight, getting stuck, you're not going to be focusing on the hamstring. You're going to be focusing on all the other muscles getting stuck and tight. Cool? All right. So let's continue. When you have your body nice and straight, you got that leg in front, we're going to fold our belly buttons down to our legs. Ready? Fold, 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 fold some more, fold again, fold. Woo. As soon as you get stuck, it's time to chill and it's time to breathe. We're going to take a big breath in, inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg and just chill. One more, inhale, exhale, chill. That's two. Let's go for a third. Inhale, exhale and chill. Let your body drape over that leg. And we're going to add some movement. All right. What I want you to do is bring the knee up, bring your chest down, try and touch your torso to your leg if you can. If you can't, just try your best. And then I want you to get as low as you can, then straighten out that leg. All right. We're going to do this 5 times. That was 1. High knee, chest down, straighten it out. That's 2. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 3. Keep going. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 4. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. I think that's 5. Now that you've moved a little bit, you focused on folding forward, practicing the motion we're trying to get into. We're going to get a little bit deeper. All right. We're going to do an inhale, exhale, fold. We're going to take a big breath in on the inhale. We're going to slowly exhale a bunch of air on the exhale. And while you're exhaling, I want you to focus on that belly button. I want you to bring it down to the leg, down to the leg, down to the leg. You ready? Let's go. Inhale, big breath in. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Woo! That is our first go around. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. 3rd time's a charm. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Whew. We're going to move. Ready? Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Hopefully, you've noticed that you don't have to bring your knee up as high to have your chest touch it now. Or if you started without being able to touch it, hopefully now you're able to touch it, right? The goal is to find that you're a little bit lower than before, and if that's the case, don't bend the knee as much, all right? Chest down, straighten it out. Round 5 is done. We're going to go deeper. We're going to go deeper this one last time, on this leg at least. Let's go. Inhale, exhale, fold. Big breath in. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Woo! Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Inhale, relax again. Let your body flop over that leg again. Inhale, relax. And this is optional. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten out. That's 3. 2 more. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 4. Last one. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. We're hanging out here for 30 seconds. Make sure to breathe. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. For everybody at home, if you're feeling a whole bunch of tension in your neck, if you're feeling it in your upper back, if you're feeling it in your mid back, you're working too hard. All right? Those muscles should not be rounding. You should not be turning yourself into a ball. The only thing that you're focusing on is bring your belly button down to the floor, or at least down to your thigh. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. So if you're feeling it up there, relax those muscles. Chill. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. Bring your legs back underneath you. Take your time with it. Doesn't have to be fast. I want you to try your best to flex that glute that you were just stretching out real hard. Just clench the butt cheek like somebody's about to spank you, and go ah. And once the butt cheek is firing and your muscles are able to tighten up again, we're gonna fold onto the other leg. All right. Extend the other leg. Get ready to bring that belly button down to the ground. Whee! Ugh. As soon as you get stuck, inhale, relax. Let's go. Inhale, relax. Oh, man. Whew. Again, inhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into that stretch. Inhale, relax. One more time. Inhale. Relax. Whew. We're going to add that movement in. You ready? Let's go. Bend the knee. Chest down. Straighten it out. Bend the knee. Chest down. Straighten it out. Keep going. Bend the knee. Chest down. Straighten it out. Bend the knee. Chest down. Straighten it out. I think that's 3, maybe 4. This is definitely 4. Let's go. Last one. And 5. What we're going to do from here, you already know it. We're going to get a little deeper. Ready? Inhale, exhale, fold. Let's go. Big breath in. Slowly exhale and fold, fold, fold. Bring that belly button down. Woo. And relax. Inhale. Let your body flop over that leg. One more time. Inhale. Let your body flop over that leg. 3rd time's a charm. Inhale. Relax. Let your body flop over that leg. And we're moving it. Bend the knee. Bring the chest down. Straighten it out. This does not have to be fast. This is not supposed to be explosive. All right. What we're doing is practicing bringing and folding our torso down to our legs. Our hamstrings are going to hold us back when we try to straighten out our legs. But for most of us, you should be able to get your thigh pretty close to your chest. All right. So we're working on practicing that fold. I'm pretty sure we've done 5 already. So let's go. Inhale, exhale, fold. Let's get a little bit deeper. Big breath in. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Woo. By the way, if it hurts a lot, you're probably going too hard. You don't need it to hurt. It should be uncomfortable. It should be tense, but it should not be sharply painful. All right. 30 seconds. Actually, no, we're not. What were we talking about? We just folded deeper. It's time to inhale, relax. Inhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper. Relax. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg one last time. Inhale, relax. And optional knee bends. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 2. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten out. I think that's 4. Last one. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 5. We're hanging out here for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. By the way, if your knee is feeling a little tender, feeling a little bit achy, you can always give it a slight bend. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight for you to get a hamstring stretch. All right. It's going to probably reduce the intensity of the hamstring stretch, but that's okay because you're protecting your knee. You can fold your chest down to that thigh first and then choose to slowly straighten out your leg. All right. You don't have to put yourself through knee discomfort in the whole entire thing to work on your hamstrings. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. Whew. We are done with those. That was our first stretch. The rest of the show is not nearly as dramatic. We don't spend nearly as much time in all the rest of the stretches, all right? It's just the first one because we need the hamstrings for a lot of the other stuff. So we give them a lot of extra love. We're going to move on into stretch number 2. It's time for the butterfly stretch. I want you to scoot your butt over to the wall. I want you to rest your low back, your shoulders, your head all up against the wall. I want you to bring your feet together, pull it in to your legs. Stay in this position. This is our starting position. The goal here is to stretch out the groin muscles by bringing your knees closer to the ground. I want you to get stronger. So I want you to use your glutes. I want you to use your outer thighs. I want you to pull your legs down into the ground using your own muscle power. All right. If you have some small weights, some small dumbbells, feel free to put them on your knees and let them push you down. But if you're at home, I want you to take your hands. I want you to push your own thighs down into the ground until you feel that stretch building here in the groin, in the inner thighs. And I want you to do that as we breathe. We're going to go for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. Every time you exhale, so you can push a little deeper. 25, 24, 23. Just like before, it shouldn't be a sharp, intense pain. It should be a stretch. It should feel like something's getting longer. Maybe it's a little bit uncomfortable. That's normal, but it should not be a sharp, intense pain. All right? 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Keep on applying pressure. 15, 14, 13. If you're a regular in the live right now, I want you to flex your legs, flex those muscles I told you about. Really try to pull your legs down as deep as you can for the last 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7. Keep on pushing with your arms while you contract those glutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Relax, 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 relax. Whew. Let your hands go. If your wrists are tired from pushing your legs down, you can give them a little gentle flop, a little wiggle to help them relax. If your legs are feeling a little stiff, a little tired, you can also give them a little flap, a little movement to help them relax. All right? That is our second stretch. We're going to move on into stretch number 3. As soon as your legs and your wrists are feeling okay, let's go. For the third stretch, we're doing the standing pancake. I want you to stand up to do the standing pancake, and I want you to focus on folding forward. This is part of the reason why we spent so much time on the hamstrings to get you prepared so that you can focus on the pancake, which is stretch number 3. All right. What I want you to do is open up your legs decently wide. It doesn't have to be crazy. All right. If you're not feeling any pain in the hips, you're gonna do a little hip wiggle, and everything feels okay. We're ready to fold. I want you to bring your belly button down towards the ground. Wee. Ugh. As soon as you feel like you get stuck, as soon as you get a little bit uncomfortable, this is our starting position. All right. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. And the goal of the standing pancake is to fold your upper body in between your legs. Fold, 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 some more, fold. It is really hard. It is really painful and is really, really, really difficult. That is why we do the standing version, because gravity makes it a lot easier to help us fold, because gravity is doing a lot of the work. All right. So, if you're new to this, you don't have to open your legs super wide. Just find a decent, comfortable-ish position. This is plenty. And bring your belly button down to the ground. Keep your back relatively straight as you fold forward. Doesn't have to be perfect, but relatively straight. If you want to make it harder, extend your arms past your head, and that will suddenly make everything feel way worse. And if you're really, really desperate to make it a lot harder for some reason, feel free to grab a light weight. I say light very intentionally because when you have it way far out in front of you, it's going to feel really heavy. All right? Grab a light weight and inhale, exhale, relax. See how far down you can get pulled by gravity. All right? If you're a regular, if you're a little bit more advanced, see if you can stick your butt back a little bit. See if you can open your legs wider by a little bit. And I think that's about it. That's all we got. Let's get ready to go. Fold your belly button down towards the ground. Fold some more. Again, try to keep that back relatively straight. And let's get ready to go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. Don't hold your breath. Keep breathing. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, put your hands down and come on out of that stretch. Slowly bring your legs together. If somehow you were watching me stretch instead of doing your own stretch, uh, you might have seen that I sat all the way down on the ground. When you stick your butt far enough back, at some point, you'll be on the ground. And I was moving on into a seated pancake. For most of us, the standing pancake is going to be the best place to start. All right? That's because gravity is going to feel real hard pulling you down. When you are in a seated pancake, if you can't fold forward at all, if you're just stuck at about 90 degrees, you're not going to feel gravity at all, right? So if you are able to fold a little bit more forward, you can do all the same things that we just talked about, except with your butt on the ground instead. If you want, you can also go somewhere in between. You can elevate your butt just a little bit so that your 90-degree angle is still leaning forward a little bit, right? And hopefully that gets you enough information to get going, get a little deeper in your pancake, because we're done with that. We're moving on. We're moving on into our fourth stretch. It is called the figure four or the pigeon. All right. What did we do yesterday? I feel like we did the figure four yesterday, so today's pigeon day. I explain one of the two every single day. And if you're a regular, feel free to jump in whichever one you prefer, preferably the one that you struggle with the most. And for everybody who's new to the show, as soon as I'm done scratching my back, I'm going to show you the pigeon. All right, we're going to take one leg, we're going to cross it over to the other side. We're going to grab the leg and we're going to bring it up towards our belly button. We're going to bring our belly button down towards our leg until we're in a position that looks a little bit like this. All right, from the side, you're going to feel a little bit of a stretch here in the side of your hip. That's a glute muscle. You'll feel a little bit in the inside of your leg. It's your hamstring because it's the back side, underside of your leg. But when your leg is rotated like this, it's going to be over here on the inside, right? And you might feel a little bit of tension here when you're folding forward. We're going to take this position. We're going to recreate it on the ground, right? Come on down to the ground. We're having that leg across our body. I want you to find this middle line between your eyes and down to your belly button, right? This line. I want you to find a midpoint between your knee and your ankle. And I want you to find that midpoint. Then I want you to take that middle line that I was talking about and try your best to match the 2 points together, middle line to midpoint. When you fold forward, keep your hips low to the ground, bring your chest down afterwards, and that is our pigeon stretch. All right? Gravity's doing a whole bunch of the work, trying to squeeze you into the ground, and that is how we like it. Make gravity do the work. We got some options for your other leg. You can keep it bent off to the side if you want. You can extend it out to the side and still get pretty much the entirety of that stretch if you want. You can also extend that leg back behind you. If you've done some yoga, this is probably the version of the pigeon that you've seen before. And when you do it this way, you're going to feel a stretch here in the front of your hip and your hip flexor. You're probably going to feel a whole bunch of pressure on your knee because that's the first part of your leg that's going to touch down. If this is an uncomfortable position for you, you don't have to do it, right? I just told you it's all optional. But if you want to make this work, you want to work on this position, there's a couple of things you can do to make it more comfortable. The first one is you can try to fold forward a little bit. Stop trying to stand up so straight, and there'll be less pressure on your hip. When you're a little bit flatter, it'll be easier and there'll be less pressure on your knee. Second thing you can do is you can try to flex your foot underneath you so that your toes are touching instead of your knee, so that your knee doesn't hurt as much. All right? Optional. What else can we do? We can elevate our front leg. For most of us, if you're normal, be flexible. When you do that, your hips are also going to come up. When your hips are up, there's way more room underneath you for your back leg to extend without having your hip feel all that pressure, without having your knee suffering from all that pressure. All right? So, those are your options. When you elevate your front leg, it doesn't have to be with a small stool like I have. You can use an ottoman, you can use a coffee table, you can use the front of your couch, you can use your bed. Anything that can support your leg up, that can support your weight stably is going to be fine. Cool? All right, let's get into the pigeon. That's all the information I got for you. We're bringing the leg across the body, middle line to midpoint between the knee and the ankle. We're folding forward. If you want, you can extend your other leg back behind you. I want you to melt into the floor. I want you to sink into the ground. I want you to dissolve into a little puddle of you. And bring that belly button down. Every time you exhale, relax your muscles, sink a little deeper. You ready? 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Keep on breathing. Keep on sinking into the ground. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. We're going to switch over to the other side. All right? Bring the leg across. Extend the other leg back behind you if you want to. Oh, I'm going to rotate this way. Get your hips low to the ground. Then we're folding the upper body down to the leg. All right? Fold, 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 fold. Fold some more. Fold again. And 30 seconds. Let's get ready to go. 30. 29. Remember, when you exhale, let the tension go. Let it out of your low back. Let it out of your chest. Let it out of every muscle you can imagine. Just slowly go through a little checklist through your torso. And 25, 24, 23, 22. Sink a little bit deeper into the ground. If you're a regular, you're feeling a little bit more advanced, and you know your back is arching, is bending real far forward because I told you to relax, you can try to straighten out your back and ignore everything else I said before. When you straighten out your back, you should feel a huge stretch building in the outside of that glute muscle that I pointed out earlier. All right? That is also really good. Once you've figured out how to relax, you've mastered relaxing, straighten out your back, feel gravity pulling you down, making that stretch more intense. All right? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our pigeon. That's the fourth of our 5 stretches. If you've never been on the show before, this is a side splits and hip mobility show. And what that means is the final stretch we're about to do is a whole bunch of side splits. If you've never done side splits before, don't worry. We're going to break it down into little pieces. I'm going to walk you through a whole bunch of steps, and then you can do as many of them as you want to. Okay? You don't have to follow through on everything that I do. You don't have to make yours look like mine, because I've been doing this for like hundreds of days, and you shouldn't try to be me. You should try to be you. All right? What else do you need to know? We do this live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, which means we started about 43, 44 minutes ago. We do this every day to practice consistency, to build a little community, to make the suffering that we do every day a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little easier to stay consistent with. So if you like side splits, you like hip mobility, you like the idea of consistency, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and let's jump into our side splits. All right? Side splits. Before we begin, and before we jump, because we're not actually jumping to the side splits, that would be crazy. That's super advanced. We're not doing that. I want you to grab a stool. I want you to grab something that you can use to put your hands on, because we're eventually going to get into a position that looks like this. All right? Our hands are going to be supporting some of our body weight. Our legs are going to go wide. All right? So, whatever it is that you choose to put your hands on, make sure it's lightweight enough that you can adjust it. Make sure it's stable enough that you can put all of your weight into it. And make sure that you can't super easily topple it over because we want it to help you stay stable. All right. Once you have grabbed your stool, and it could be a chair, it could be a coffee table, it could be an ottoman, it could be a stack of textbooks. I have tried that; it has indeed worked. Not my favorite, but if you have to, a stack of textbooks, old encyclopedias, those will work too. What we're gonna do is put that down in front of us, and then we're going to scoot our backs up into a wall, all right? So that your butt is resting against the wall. From here, I want you to open up your legs a little bit wider, all right? Doesn't have to be crazy. Your hips should not be uncomfortable. If you've gone so wide that there's like a pinching pain in your hips, you've gone too far, stop, bring your legs back together, and we're going to fold. We're going to bring the belly button down towards the ground. Ready? Let's go. Whee! Ugh. You might be able to palm the ground. And if you can, you might not need hand support. But for most of us, hand support is going to be really nice. All right. So get your hands on your hand support. Let your legs go a little bit wider. Let your butt rest against the wall. And slowly let your butt come down along the wall. All right. As you get lower and lower down the wall, you're going to find that your legs are going wider and you might be feeling more weight in your arms. Those are all normal. From here, what I want you to do is rotate the legs. We talked about that pinching pain in your legs a couple minutes ago. What I want you to do is rotate the leg so that there's no chance that pinching pain will come back. All right. What I want you to do is rotate this leg backwards 90 degrees so that your heels are down, your toes are pointing up, and your knees are pointing up. Okay. And we got to do this on both sides. We can't just do one leg. We got to do both. Boom. So heels down, toes up, knees up. Make sure you're still using your hand support for balance. Make sure your butt is still leaning against the wall for some support. And I want you to try and bring everything a little closer to the wall. Get a little bit more compact. All right. Now, from here, this is all optional. Once you're in this position roughly, you're already in a hand. You're already in a hand. You're already in a side split. You're already in a stretched out position. All right. If you want to go a little bit deeper, I want you to find a really comfortable position. Right. I don't want you to feel like you're about to slip. I don't want you to feel like you're about to lose balance. I don't want you to feel like you're about to lose control. I want your butt resting against the wall, your hands on the stool, your legs nice and wide, but comfortable. All right. The reason why we care about this, why we care about stability, why we care about comfort, is because when you feel safe, it's going to be easier for your muscles to relax. When you feel like you're about to slip, when you feel like you're about to lose balance, when you feel like you're about to tip over, your muscles are going to stay super tense. They're going to keep you from getting into a worse situation. And that tension is the opposite of what we want. All right. So we want to be calm, we want to be chill, we want to be comfortable. From here, we're going to breathe. We're going to take nice, big, deep breaths. We're going to relax and see if we can sink a little bit deeper into our stretch. Right? Inhale, relax, exhale. Keep going. Inhale. Relax. Let's go for a third breath. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can drop your hips a little bit lower. All right. Once you've dropped down, you might find you've gotten into a situation where you can't stay balanced. You slip and you fall down. That's not what we want. We want you to stay in control. We want you to find a comfortable spot for you to be. All right. So adjust. Find a comfortable position, get back into it, and reset. This is why I have been talking about comfort. Why I've been talking about finding a stable position is because as soon as you are off balance, it's really easy for you to slide out of your stretch. Cool? All right, get back into it. And, or if you've been in it the whole time, then see if you can do a little bit of a wiggle from side to side. Little inch to the right, little inch to the left, little inch to the right. This isn't explosive. This isn't supposed to be a crazy powerful movement. Just a little tiny lean to either side. See if you can drop a little bit deeper. All right. Once you've gotten as deep as you can get for now, we're in position. We're going to hold it for 30 seconds. All you have to do is breathe. All right. 30, 29. Double check that your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are pointing up. 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. If you are using your hand support, your head should also be pointing straight up into the ceiling as much as possible. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Remember, your arms are there to support you. The wall is behind you to support you. So if you feel like you're slipping, you feel like you're falling, you feel like your feet can't hold you up, you can use your arms to support some of your weight. You can pull yourself up a little bit higher. All right? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's it. Walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in underneath you. Slowly come back into some sort of relaxing kneeling position. And we're done with side split number 1. We're going to pause here. We're going to breathe. We're going to catch our breath. We're going to let some of the tension in our muscles chill and relax. And then we're going to shake them out, shake out the legs. We're going to get all floppy and loose so that we can prepare ourselves for side split number 2. All right. If you are new to the show and you don't know this, we're doing 3 rounds of side splits. That was 1. We got 2 more. And they'll go a little bit faster than that first one because I explained the most in the first round. But you can look forward to another 2 side splits. Cool? All right. Once you're up, back in standing, we're going to shake out our legs. I want you to shake out your ankles, nice and slow to start. Just a nice gentle wiggle, little flop. Let the muscles relax a little bit. And if you find it comfortable, you can pick up the intensity. Shake a little harder, flop a little harder, go wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 flop. Focus on side to side, back and forth, in circles. Make sure your muscles aren't doing the work of doing the rotation, that your muscles are relaxed, and it's just the you flopping around causing your legs to go wherever they want. All right? The reason why we're doing this, switch to the other side, is because when your ankles are flopping and going everywhere, all the muscles tied to your ankles, tied to your lower leg, tied to your feet, that would stop your feet from flopping all over the place, have to be relaxed enough to let you go to those crazy places that you're going to. And they have to be relaxed enough to let you do it as fast as you're doing it, right? Like you can shake so fast, you probably couldn't flex your muscles remotely close to fast enough to do the same thing, right? Like this is the fastest I can flick my feet up and down using muscle power. If I were to just shake out my leg, I can go way faster than that. And whew, it's not exhausting like when I contract the muscles. So now that you've shaken out your ankles, I want you to take a couple of steps, do a little dance, do a little wiggle, do a little shimmy, do a little, I don't know, I'm out of words that are related to dance. Hopefully, your legs are working okay. You're feeling a little bit looser, and we're ready to move on to our hips. I want you to put all of your weight into one leg. I want you to put the big toe down on the other, so you look like you're doing something like this. All right? I want you to really focus on pointing this knee that away, and then I want you to open up the hip, flex your glutes, pull that leg open wide, and then do the opposite. I want you to bring the knee in so that this knee is almost touching that knee. Contract the muscles on the inside of the hip and focus on doing that a couple of times. All right? If you're new to the show, this is your first time trying this movement, focus on building that full range of motion, focus on building some strength. If you are a regular and this is chill, easy for you, you can go a little bit faster. You can have a little bit more fun with it. You can try to use it to relax a little bit. All right? Same thing on the other side. All your weight on one leg, big toe is down, in, out, 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 and whew, shake out that leg, do a little flop. All right, it's time for side split number 2. Let's go. Get your hand support ready and get your butt up against the wall. Open up your legs decently wide, doesn't have to be crazy. Fold forward, put your hands on your hand support, let your butt rest against the wall, and bring everything real close to the wall. All right? Once you are here, we're going to rotate our legs. Heels down, toes up, knees pointing up. Heels down, toes up, knees pointing up. Again, get comfortable. Your butt is resting against the wall, your hands on your hand support, your legs are somewhere in between. You don't feel like you're about to tip over, you don't feel like you're about to slip. We want you to be nice and balanced. All right, take your time, find a nice spot. If it's your first time on the live, it might take a little bit. It's not super intuitive when you're in a new position you've never felt before. Okay? From here, we're gonna relax, we're gonna breathe, we're gonna try and drop a little bit deeper into our stretch. All right, inhale, exhale, relax. Again, inhale, exhale, relax. If you drop a little deeper when you relax, great. If you don't drop a little deeper, that's also fine. All right. Don't worry about it. Worry about trying your best to relax. Inhale. Exhale. Relax. That's 3. If you feel like you got a little bit more left in you, you can do a tiny little wiggle to the right, tiny wiggle to the left, tiny wiggle to the right, tiny wiggle to the left, tiny wiggle to the right, tiny wiggle to the left. And when you're done, it's time for side split number 2. You got the option of staying in the exact same position we were in before, where the toes are up, the knees are up, and the hamstrings are feeling a lot of stretch. You got the option to do a different type of side split. You can walk your hands forward a tiny little bit so that your shoulders and your hands are in a straight line above each other, and your knees have come and made a 45 to 60-ish degree angle up into the ceiling. And once you're in that position, you're going to feel more of a stretch in your inner thighs. That's what we want. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. If you feel like this stretch is somehow less intense and you want to make it more intense, you can bend your elbows a bit, and it's going to put more pressure into your hips. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward, bring your legs in underneath you, grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. That is our second side split. Take your time, chill, breathe, and let's get ready to stand on up. Shake out our legs. Let's go. Come on up. Oof. Ah. Let's go. Shake out the ankles. Shake, 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 shake. Shakety, shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shakety, shake, shake, shake. You can start nice and gentle with it. Remember, the goal is relaxation. We don't care what the fastest speed you can flop your ankle at is. That's not important. What is important is that your muscles are relaxed so that you can flop. You can flop pretty fast. All right? Keep going. Shake, 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 shake. Shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. Shake it out. Shake, 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 shake it out. Shake, 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 shake it out. And keep on going. Switch around a couple of times. Take a couple of steps. Do a little dance. Do a little hop. Do a little shake. Bend the knees a little bit. Make sure your legs are feeling okay. And we're going to move on into our hips. All right. All your weight in one leg. Big toe is down, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Let's go for about, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 of these. I'm pretty sure we've done 10. Let's go. Other side. Straight leg, bent leg, knee in, out, 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 in, out. That's got to be 10. All right, let's get. I don't know if my legs are ready. Maybe we'll take 10 more seconds. Do a little wiggle, do a little shimmy, do a little dance, shake out your hips, move all the different muscles that you've been working on today. Do a little dance, and hopefully give your body a couple more seconds to relax a little bit, so that when we get into side split number 3, you can get into an English. You can get into an even deeper stretch. I combined 2 sentences. You can deepen your stretch. You can get into an even deepened stretch. English. All right, let's go. Butt up against the wall. Half a step forward. Get ready to fold. Bring the belly button down towards the ground. Whee! Hands on your hand support. Butt resting against the wall. Slide down the wall. And let's rotate our legs. Heels are down. Toes are up. Knees are pointing up on both legs. Heels down. Toes up. Knees up. Adjust your hands. Adjust your legs. Find a comfortable spot so that you feel like you're in control. Feel like you're not going to tip over. Feel like you can possibly, potentially relax a little bit. All right? When you're ready, inhale. Exhale, relax. Again, inhale. Exhale, relax. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale, relax. If you don't actually make any movement, you don't get anywhere when you do that, that's okay. Don't worry about it. All right. The goal is to try to relax. The goal is to try to breathe and chill. If you don't actually get any deeper, that's okay. All right. Last round of optional stuff. Lean a little to the right. See if you can get a little bit more. Lean a little to the left. Lean a little to the right. Little left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And when you feel like you can't go anymore, it's time for us to wrap up with our third and final side split. All right. You got options. You can do the first version of the stretch that we did today with our toes and our knees pointing straight up. You can do the second version of the stretch where you lean forward a little bit and your knees and your toes are pointing forward at a 45-ish degree angle. And whatever your choice is, get in position. We're holding for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward. Oh, bring your legs in nice and slow. That is our third and final side split. Woo! If your legs are tired, that's very normal. That is the third and final. We're done with all the hard stuff. It's time to chill. It's time to relax. It's time to ease out. All right. What we have left is getting back into standing, shaking out some tension, relaxing, and then we're going to do some joint checks, a couple of hip circles, some calf raises, and we'll be done. All right, let's go. Come on up into standing. Let's shake out those ankles. Do a little wiggle, do a little flop gently. Start nice and slow. If you want to pick up the intensity, you can go a little faster, you can go a little harder. Remember, the goal is just relaxation. All right, you don't need to move crazy fast to be relaxed. But if you're moving crazy fast, those muscles probably are relaxed. All right, just means going fast is optional and is a good sign that you're relaxed, but isn't the only way to get there. All right, this is our third and final leg shaky, shaky, shaky thing. So this is a good time to remind you that you can relax however you want. All right, I focus on telling you about the ankles because it's easy to see. It's easy to see it flop going all over the place and shake out the rest of the leg to control the last little bit to the ankle. But if you want to start shaking out everything all at the same time, you want to do a crazy leg flop, as long as you're relaxing, that's all that matters, right? Shake out the other leg, shake out the other leg, keep on shaking. And when your hips are feeling a little bit better, at least your legs are feeling a little better, maybe not your hips, we're ready to move on to work on our hips, all right? All your weight on one leg, big toe is down, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Again, if you are new to the show, focus on maximum range of motion. Really flex your glutes to pull this leg out, point it directly that way. And then when you bring your leg back in, flex the muscles here in the hip on the inside to bring that muscle, to bring that leg, to bring the knees in almost touching each other. All right. You might feel a stretch out here in the side of your bum right here. Okay. But if you're a regular and this is easy for you, pick up the pace, go a little faster, have fun with it, relax, do a little dance. All right. Other side, all your weight in one leg, big toe is down, in, out. Focus on that contraction. And then when you've leveled up, you can just shake, you can flop, you can relax. And the goal is just like before to shake out your muscles, get everything loose so that you're not randomly tense for no reason. All right. We're going to move on. We're finishing up with, I don't know why I'm putting up the number 3, with our joint checks. We are doing some hip circles. I want you to go nice and slow. Lean into that hip, scoot your butt back, come on across and forward, and back, and across, and forward. Whew. Switch the other direction. You can make these as intense as you want. Typically, I like to really sink into it at a crazy angle, just sit into it to get a crazy stretch. And oh, if that's what you're looking for, feel free to do the same. Otherwise, we're probably ready to move on. Let's go. We're going to do a quick high knee. Boom and boom. I got to solve a quick puzzle for TikTok. Give me just a second because it's going to kick me out of my live. And I failed the puzzle. Let me try it again. Boom. All right, there we go. Success. Once you have finished your quick high knee, we're going to get into some calf raises from a squatting position. All right. I want you to keep your legs about hips width apart, and I want you to squat on down so that you look like this. I want you to lean forward so that your upper body is kind of like tipping in front of you. And I want you to take your knees and I want you to bring them as far forward as you can. I want you to feel a stretch in your Achilles tendon. I want you to feel a stretch in your calves. And I want you to feel like you're about to flop over. All right. When you're feeling all those things, your feet should kick in. They should grip the floor. They should be fighting to keep you stable. And that's what we want. From here, put your hands down. Do some calf raises. Lift your heels up as high as you can. Try to balance your weight between your big toe and your second toe. Maybe your big toe and your third toe. Just that general area. As you come on up, go fast, go slow, do as many as you want. And whew, when you're done with that, however many you want to do, we're ready to wrap. All right. That last little thing forced our toes, the arch of our foot, the Achilles tendon, the calf muscles, the quads, the low back to work really well together with the joints at the hip, the knee, the ankle, all over your feet. And a quick check to make sure everything is working well down there so you can go back to whatever else you have to do for the rest of the day. All right. That is our live. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on that hip mobility. We do this every single day starting at 9 p.m. Eastern time. All right. If you're not in the Eastern time zone, we started an hour and 5 minutes ago. And that's the time we start Monday through Sunday. So 7 days a week, we're here working on that exact workout. If you're brand new to the show and you're like, wow, I couldn't keep up, it was so intense, there's so much, I promise if you stick around for a week, do 3 or 4 of these, you'll learn the flow, you'll learn the patterns, you'll hear every version of the descriptions that I give because I try not to say the exact same thing every day, just to add a little bit of nuance and little different areas, such a slowly get a more thorough understanding of why we do things. I try not to say all the stuff in one go because that will make the show really long, but just the important stuff. All right, we do this every day. Hit mobility, side splits, hit follow, hit subscribe. That would be awesome. I make some other content. All right. I can speak a little bit of Chinese. And you do look forward. Oh, thank you, Suri. Suri says, I look forward to live every single night. And Aunt Does Art says, thank you. Been doing it every day for a couple months now. Oh, amazing. Aunt Does Art, I think this might be the first time I've seen you comment. Maybe that might not be true, but I feel like I haven't seen you comment very often. So congratulations. That's so awesome. Thank you for letting me know so we could celebrate you for being here practicing consistency because it's really not easy to show up, to suffer, to show up for a whole hour, right? At some points, this live was running an hour and a half easily. And it's slowly, I've been working to trim it down back to an hour. And we're finally back at about an hour. And it's a big time commitment. It's not easy to do. You're literally suffering on the floor during some of these stretches. So thank you for being here and congratulations. A couple months is awesome. All right. What else do you need to know? I make some other content. Okay, it's not just side splits. It's not just this workout that we show up for. Most of my content is around trying to make fitness a little bit more fun, a little bit more casual, a little bit more entertaining, so that you feel like when you have 2 minutes, you're waiting for your microwave to heat up your lunch, you're waiting for coffee to come out the machine, you're waiting for your hot water to boil for tea, you know that you can do a tiny little bit of exercise, right? You don't have to be fancy. You don't have to do 15 different exercises. You don't have to do 3 sets of however many reps, right? A little bit of movement goes a long way. If you could do 2 minutes nonstop of calf raises, if you could do 2 minutes nonstop of squats, if you could do 2 minutes nonstop of the Cossack switches that we have in our workout, that would be a lot. All right. It would be a crazy amount of that exercise. So even if it's just 2 minutes, don't sleep on it. It can be very good for you. All right. Most of the time, you'll feel much better and you'll feel like a badass for having done it. So don't sleep on it and hit follow, hit subscribe so that next time you're doom scrolling while you're waiting for any of those things, you're like, oh, you'll see my content. You'll be like, oh, yeah, Ken said we should do some Cossack switches. So let's go do that for 2 minutes. And if you actually do that, though, please send me a message and let me know because that would be hilarious. And it's important for me to know because then I'll keep saying it and I'll have proof that somebody does it. All right. Anyways, that's enough of my rambling. I'm gonna come check the chat, and if I think of anything else, I'm gonna tell you guys while we go. Che or Jax JXA over on YouTube sends a whole bunch of number ones. Thank you. Redeemy sends a thumbs up. Queen RR says 30 seconds. Redeemy asks, what is the time span to hold this position? Most of the positions we're holding for about 30 seconds. If you go longer, that is very normal because I do a lot of talking, I do a lot of explaining, I try to set things up, try to make things make sense why we're setting up in a certain way. And oftentimes you'll be sitting in a position for longer than 30 seconds. But 30 seconds is plenty if you want to start there. If you want to go a little bit longer, 45 seconds is probably realistically closer to what we're actually getting in the show, especially if you know the show and you're just jumping into the next exercise. Digital Kens says, "What if your knees make a cracking noise doing this?" I don't know which movement you're experiencing the cracking noise in, but if you're not experiencing pain while hearing the cracking noises, most of the time that's usually fine. If you are feeling pain, if you're feeling like something snapping in your knee, like a tendon just shifting suddenly, that might be something you should get checked out. But if it's just making a couple of quick sound effects while you're moving it, that's probably fine as long as there's no pain. All right. Queen R says hello. Sorry I'm late. Jax Che sends awesome emojis. Thank you. All right. That looks like most of the YouTube chat. Let's take a look at TikTok chat. Suri says, I'm curious. If you have a night out, how do you do the live? I'm in my 30s now. My friends have kids. Night outs have vastly diminished, let's say, and uh, I choose to hang out with my friends during the day on weekends for the most part, and I kind of plan them really far in advance at this point. So I don't really do nights out. Yeah, that's basically what the last couple of months have been. At some point, I was traveling across Asia, so the 9 p.m. lives were 9 a.m. So I was actually starting my day instead of ending my day, and that was super easy because I could do whatever I wanted. But yeah, for the last couple of months while I've been back in the U.S., it has been not having a nighttime social life. Cool. All right. What else? Suri says, I'm also in my 30s, homie. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult you if you're having a great 9 p.m. social life that I definitely don't. And I, have the excuse of saying I'm in my 30s, all my friends have kids. Suri says, I look forward to these lives every night. Amazing. Amazing. All right. I am scrolling back up. Book sends heart eye emojis. Amazing. Everybody looks like they're having fun. Chevelle says, thank you, Ken. Good night. Good night, Chevelle. I'm scrolling up, seeing what else we got in the chat. And if it's relatively quiet, I'm going to wrap up. It's looking super quiet. I'm still scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Lots of people have followed the live. Thank you all for being here. If you're still here, there's like 100 or 40 of you online. So if you got comments, questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. If you just jumped in, you're like, what is this about? How could there possibly be 140 people online? Let me know because I'll happily pitch you again on what this show is about. Katkuna says something, and Travel with Roxy responded with some good news. Katkuna says, what did I just walk into? Oh, wow, perfect. It's like I timed this impeccably. We're doing 45, or we were doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern time, which means we started an hour and 11 minutes ago. And I guess we finished about like 5 minutes ago. And we do this every day to build a little bit of consistency, to build a little bit of community, and to make the suffering that we put ourselves through with our legs doing crazy things a little bit easier, a little bit more fun, a little bit easier to stay consistent with. I kind of said easy like 6 times, so whatever. That didn't sound very sensible. Hopefully you heard it one of the other times that I said it. Travel with Roxy says Ken goes over 8 stretches. Awesome. All right. Scrolling, 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 scrolling. What else? What else we got? What else we got? If you are new to the show, definitely start easy and take your time. All right. Most of the instructions that I give, most of the setup that I do with you is the same exact setup that I started with back in the early days of this show. This show has been running daily for hundreds of days, and I have gotten more and more and more flexible as time has gone on. So, despite the fact that some of the things that I'm doing looks crazy potentially for you, uh, is basically the same instructions that I started with when my back was like straight up and I was stuck at 90 degrees and I couldn't fold forward. All right. Self love first. Great username. Says this is challenging. How long before my body gets adjusted? It depends. There's a lot of different versions of adjustment. Sometimes, if your muscles are just tense because they've never been in a position before, if you just sit there and breathe for like 30 seconds and just flop over and take a little nap, that might be enough for your body to get a little bit more comfortable with some of those positions. Um, Some positions you're not going to relax at all for a really long time. For example, for most people, when we're doing the hamstring stretch, most of our lives are in this position, right? We're stuck kind of at this like 90-ish degree angle. For you to suddenly get really comfortable folding much, 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 much more forward might take a while, especially if you're doing this version of the show where we're mostly just relaxing and folding into position. All right. If you start getting really strong at pulling yourself into the position, so if you were in a hamstring stretch, you focused on strengthening your hip flexor muscles, your quads, these muscles in the leg and down here in the abs, and you started contracting them and working on pulling yourself down, that might make things go a little bit faster. But in general, it really depends on what your background is. If you were an ex dancer and you used to be really flexible, it might take you a couple of days before you get back a whole bunch of flexibility that you've lost over the decades. If you're not, it might take a lot longer because you're building it for the first time. It's much easier to get back something that you used to have compared to getting it for the first time. And somewhere there's some version of muscle memory or like body shape memory that exists. And if you're using the same muscles for a similar reason again, those muscles will come back way faster than the first time you built them. Cool. All right. What else we got? Therese says, "I made it." Welcome back, Therese. It's good to see you. And it's looking super quiet in the chat. All right. Suri sent an ice cream cone and a whole bunch of gifts. Thank you so much. Melissa sends a heart. Thanks, Melissa. All right. Let's scroll all the way back to the bottom. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? What else we got? What else we got? Taro Queen says, "Today Mexico is playing, so we can." We're done. We're done. It's done here. It's good. You can go watch. You can go watch Mexico. Suri says, "Oh no, Assaulting, just being silly because I do go out." Awesome. That's good. What changes have you noticed since prioritizing these exercises? So many little changes. All right. Because I'm live every day at 9 o'clock. If I eat too close to 8, I'm gonna be a little full. I'm gonna be a little groggy. I'm gonna be like, ugh. So there's lots of little pieces to that, right? If I do eat close to 8, I have a very small meal, and I'm like much more cautious of not eating too much. Whereas normally I would just wolf down as much food as possible until I'm stuffed, which is probably not a good thing. But if that's you, and then you have to do something at 9 and you want to feel like you don't want to vomit at 9, then you're going to eat less. So that helps with portion control, without having to like think about it because I'm prioritizing the show over the meal, I guess. I naturally have a little bit of portion control. That does not mean that I don't just go back and eat food afterwards, though, because that happens a lot, and I start snacking real late because whatever. But that's not the point. What else? From prioritizing these lives, I have been super consistent. This is the most consistent I have been about anything by choice in ever. I mean, like other than like brushing my teeth, right? Like the core habits that are just like okay, whatever. This is the most consistent I've been with pretty much anything. I think this live has run close to 600 days, probably. If not 600, like plus or minus 50, and that's an insane amount of consistency. The accountability portion of me showing up live, of telling you to come back because we're live every single day, 7 days a week, that portion has really helped to keep me accountable. Having people to chat with on the live, asking questions, interacting at the end, super helpful for keeping me on track and keeping me focused on showing up at 9 o'clock. Cons are my 9 p.m. post 9 p.m. social life has completely disappeared, but I was traveling for a long time over the last couple of months, so my like normal friend group, that social interaction had also disappeared, and I had just moved right before I went traveling, so that lots of things were in a mess. So it doesn't feel like I've been missing out that much. If I was stuck in my normal place, in my normal group of friends, then maybe it would feel like I was missing out a little bit. But all the things just happened to happen together, and everything worked out. So yeah. What else we got? Taro says just another day. Okay, cool. That's it. Suri says that's so cool. Yeah, yeah. Everything just happened to work out so that all the changes happened at the same time. The consistency stuff started when I had no strict schedule necessarily, and that's not true actually. A big wave of it happened when I had no strict schedule because I traveled for a while, and uh, then during that time I got really serious about the live, and this live has, I don't even know, it's probably 300 plus recordings of this live in this format on TikTok, on YouTube. Maybe close to 350. And the recordings are over on YouTube. They're posted automatically every single day. So if you want to check out those to see where I started 350 days ago, that's already on YouTube. The username is splits on the side, so you can go check that out. But because I got serious about going live while traveling, and my schedule was not super consistent, this was the thing that kept it relatively consistent, and it became the focal point that I planned my day around. And that made it much easier to get into a groove of doing this, and now I don't stop. So lots of cool things happened to sort of make the live the way that it is. And yeah, that's all I got. If you have a specific question, go ahead and ask. All right, for everybody who's still alive, I think we're about to wrap up because we're out of stuff to talk about in the chat. We just did 65-ish minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make stretching and the suffering that we do while we're stretching a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little easier to stay consistent with. I'm not going to do any more stretches for you guys today because we're done with our show and I'm going to go hang out. But you should come back tomorrow because we're live at 9 p.m. Eastern every single day. Ole. Just asked the perfect question. We're live every day at 9 p.m. Eastern. So we started an hour and 20 minutes ago. We finished about 10, 15 minutes ago. And this is basically the same chunk every single day, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week. So I'll see you tomorrow. Cool? So he says, yay, see you all tomorrow. I thought you had a social. Actually, what day is it tomorrow? That's gonna be funny. I thought you had a social life. That place is to be at 9 p.m. All right, I'll see you guys soon.